Again, we find that there is so many controversies about the Mauryans. Puranas say they are coming from very humble background. So origin is not important. Means birth is not important. Actions are important. What you contribute for the society. So therefore, we don't have to involve in the origin things. But about the Mauryans, there are some sources to know what they contributed in India. So write down the sources, important sources to know about Mauryan period. So again, sources would be divided into two parts. Which kinds of sources? Literary sources and archaeological sources. Literary sources and archaeological sources. In literary sources, Brahmin text, Buddhist texts, Jain texts, secular texts, and then foreign literary source, Greco-Roman accounts, Ceylonese, Sri Lankan accounts, Chinese accounts, Tibetan accounts, Greco-Roman, Ceylonese. All we have discussed now, sources of ancient history. So the same sources would be applied here. Greco-Roman accounts, Ceylonese, Chinese, Tibetan accounts. All they talk about the Mauryan period. So one example or two example of secular text. Mudra Rakshas. Mudra Rakshas we have seen. Mudra Rakshas. Mudra Rakshas written by Bisakh Dutt. It's a drama, it's a play which talks about the conspiracy made by Chanakya against Dhananand. Dhananand was the last Nanda dynasty ruler. So one example. Then you see that Ceylonese Deepvans and Mahavans, Sri Lankan Buddhist texts, they talk about the Mauryans. So uska udaharan. Then you can say Indica, written by Megasthenes, and Megasthenes was the ambassador of Seleucus Nicator to the court of Chandragupta Maurya. Megasthenes. He wrote Indica. Indica is not there today, but the different you can say examples, different parts of Indica has been used by the other writers. So along with you can say Megasthenes, Plutarch is there, Strabo is there, Pliny is there. So all have taken help from Indica and they have written about the Mauryan period. So from their accounts we know about the Mauryan people. So these are the, and then Wensang came, but Wensang and before him Fayan came. When Fayan came, the Patliputra royal house was in flourish state. So he talks about that it was a very good palace. But when Wensang came, now the Patliputra started to be declined, its prosperity started to be declined. So we also get some important information from those Chinese travelers to India about the Mauryan period. Now when we talk about the archaeological sources, we find that in archaeology, we are architectures, and among the architectures you see Mauryan palace is there. The palace of Chandragupta Maurya, palace of Asoka, Mauryan palace. And then important thing is inscriptions. Second is inscriptions. And inscriptions which talk about Mauryan period, they are three types, would be categorized in three categories. First, in pre-Ashokan inscription, pre-Ashokan inscription. And in the pre-Ashokan inscription, we have already discussed two important inscriptions. कौन कौन थे जो हमने डिस्कस किए थे? कौन कौन थे डिस्कस किए थे? इसलिए मैंने बोला कि शुरुआती जो इंट्रोडक्टरी क्लास है, अगर उसमें आप नहीं हैं तो बार बार चीजें रिपीट नहीं होंगी ना. Two inscriptions we have already discussed, which are said to be associated with Chandragupta Maurya, means before Ashok. Which inscriptions? Last to last year UPSC ने पूछा भी था. साहगौरा एंड महास्थान इंस्क्रिप्शन किया था, नहीं डिस्कस किया था. Which talk about दुर्भिक्ष, famines. तो लिखिए यहाँ पे. Two important inscription which is pre-Ashokan inscription, Mahasthan inscription and Sahagora inscription. They are said to be associated with Chandragupta Maurya. Mahasthan, West Bengal, Bangladesh today is Bangladesh, located in today's Bangladesh, and Sahagora nearby Gorakhpur, Uttar Pradesh. Sahagora. They are important because they talk about Durviksha. Durviksha means famines. Durviksha, Sanskrit term. Durviksha, Sanskrit word. Durviksha. Pre-Ashokan inscription. दुर्भिक्ष में फेमिन्स, अकाल है ना, फेमिन्स. दुर्भिक्ष संस्कृत वर्ड फेमिन, अकाल. Then Ashokan inscription. Ashokan inscriptions are known as edicts. Means they are carrying the royal order, है ना, राजा के आदेश हैं. So इनको especially इनको edict बोलते हैं, राज्य आदेश. And Ashokan inscription are rock edicts, could be divided into rock edicts, pillar edicts. Separate edicts. Rock edict could be divided into major rock edict, minor rock edict. Major rock edicts, minor rock edicts. Again, pillar edicts, major pillar edicts, minor pillar edicts. And then separate edicts. Edicts means the royal orders are, here the different royal orders on different stones, different pillar. separate edicts. Minor pillar edicts, major and rock edicts. And they are located at different places. So in map, it has been located, na? Important. All the edicts are not important, but through the map you can study some important edicts are there. These edicts provide information about life of Ashoka, about the administration of Mauryan period, about the Dhamma policy, about the foreign policy of Ashoka, and they also help us to settle down the boundary of Mauryan Empire. Getting the point? If in Karnataka there are edicts of Ashoka, it means that the Mauryan Empire was basically extended to Karnataka. At the time of Mauryans, in Mauryan, you can say Ashokan edict, the second edict and 13 edict. Edict number 2 and 13, there is a mention of Sangam states. It means that when Ashoka was ruling in north, here Sangam dynasties were the rulers. Getting the point? 2nd and 13 edicts talk about Keral Putras, take down some specific edicts which are very, very important. 2nd and 3rd, 13 edicts of Ashoka talk about Keral Putra. Keral Putras. So Keral Putras are mentioned in edict. They are known as Cheraj. So like see, if this is South India, in the tip of South India, I mean the remote south, here there are 2 or 3 kingdoms: Chera kingdom, Cheraj, Cholaj, Pandyas, and Cholaj. So 3 important kingdoms are there: Chera, Pandya, and Cholaj. When? In the Sangam age. And Sangam age period, on the very first day we discussed, or second class, in the second class, 300 BC to 300 AD. This is the period of Sangam age in South India. So here we find that Cheraj, Pandyas, and Cholaj are mentioned in Ashokan inscription. They are the neighboring states. These are rock edicts. When we talk about the 13, means the major rock edicts, they are 14 in number. Generally, 13 edicts are there. And in pillar, there are 7 edicts. Pillar rock edict, 7. Here, 14 edicts. 14 Rajyades. 14. But generally, 13 edicts are there. And major rock edict, 14 edicts. Major pillar edict, 7 edicts.